Welcome to the In Season podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. The things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and the medications are hard to pronounce. So please bear with me.
Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready.
I do got something here, and Jeff, you just got here, so you can relate to this. It says nocturnal seizures. I got diagnosed idiopathic generalized epilepsy roughly 6 months ago, but I just found out on my last EEG that I have nocturnal seizures too. What's weird though is my mom was with me in the room, and she said I never had any jerking movements or stiffness, but the seizure was 13 seconds. I also asked my boyfriend if he noticed anything, and he said no as well. My main point is all this is there, a way to have seizures in your sleep without moving. I only have absent seizures, and so I don't know if this is possible to have those in your sleep. Thank you. I've had absent seizures, and I have not had nocturnals that I know of. So someone take the mic.
I've had nocturnals that I obviously don't remember, but Liz says like there are times that I'll kick her or my arm will go out. Go ahead, Mark. You probably have more than I do.
Yeah, no, go ahead, Jeff. I just wanted to go next.
I was pretty much finished. I just, I have sometimes like that, and most of the time just focals that I'm unaware of. And it's just the way I feel in the morning. It's the only way I know, or the next day. Like I had one last night.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that.
Yeah, and it's just, all day I'm in a different place. Unfortunately, it's not the desert.
I've got a similar kind of I get focal seizures, and I have them nocturnally. I don't get absent seizures during the day, so I don't know. Because it would be interesting. I wonder if the focal seizures that my neurologists see at night would, if happening during awake, manifest as absence seizures, or if they're more like the focal seizures that I have during the day that are more like physiological sensations and some psychological, dread, panic kind of thing. But just being asleep, I'm not aware to recall these sensations. It's no real answer to that. I can't think of any way that that could be answered. But the experience I have with my nocturnal vocals is a lot like Jeff. That I have to figure out, piece it together from the way I feel the morning after, that something happened overnight. I can't, I don't necessarily wake up knowing this is a postictal state from a seizure that I just woke up into. I just wake up to a particularly crappy feeling day. And, only after maybe waking up for a couple hours do I start to realize this doesn't make sense feeling this bad. And then I just kind of feel off for the rest of the day. But I have thoroughly forgotten the question at this point, so
Uh,
I hope I was
Yeah, for
close.
Well,
me,
this is
I
a perfect
only
time
had
though to. Oh, go ahead.
I said for me, I only had tonic clonics for in my sleep nocturnally for a couple of years, and they kind of faded out. Um, but other than that, hold on, I'm out for a second.
how do you know the difference between a focal in your sleep and a what's it called? A tonic in your sleep.
Muscle soreness the next day for sure.
I think the way you feel the next morning.
Absolutely.
Nanny cam footage. Get a
And
nanny
well, she
cam.
was saying her
When-
boyfriend in the post, she's with the she got a guy right there. So if it was a tonic clonic, that would be hard. I mean, I doubt she's that small. Like that would be
Yeah,
noticed.
yeah,
So
she's got a tonic clonic detector right there.
there you go.
But when alone, nanny cam footage.
I'm gonna put my seizure
that a
videos
thing?
on OnlyFans.
Excuse me, is that something that happens to
You'll get
people
some
that they
subscribers
you
to
get
that.
I'll have
Maybe
some
this-
weird stuff happen sometimes where I'm not like I don't really know what it is yet, but I think I figured out by now that I'm having the focals in my sleep because I'll like wake up, but I'm not really awake. But like I know something happened, but then I go back to sleep. And then I kind of sort of remember it in the morning and I just feel like crap that day and I've kind of pieced it together all this time, but I've never been told. And then I also have tonic clonics as well. That was my first seizure that I was officially told of.
Do you have focals during the day?
Yes. It's gone way down since shout out to Nature's Made over there. And I've only had one and I think that was due to major stress that had spiked up. And but yeah, it's that's gone way down. I just went to I my day has been insane. I'm sorry I ghosted everyone that I was talking to this morning. My day exploded, but I made it home alive. That's what's good. And yeah.
The
Right.
important part.
What?
That's the important part.
Right. I made it home alive and through a torrential downpour. It was awesome.
And after all
But
that, you chose to come be with us.
yeah, that's the first thing I
Appreciate it.
did. I sat down, I loaded a bowl, I smoked, I put on some comfier clothes, I took out the trash, and I started the Zoom. And I loaded another bowl.
There
It
you
Perfect
go.
sounds
day.
like it sounds
What?
like it was like the third thing you did, not the first thing you did.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. That was health insurance stuff
The
calling
only
me.
one that would ever call out the order of recovery after
That
like this
was
shitty morning.
the first thing the first thing on my list was load a bowl.
Intentions are what really count in this one.
The second was come find my people. You are my people. So
Here we are.
I had to do the prep to find my people.
Well, we appreciate you being here.
I am
And
very happy I found
the
you.
necessity of that prep sounds very significant.
Yeah, it was a
And when it comes
insane.
to
Pack bowl, or whatever.
come prepared to your people.
Yeah, it was crazy. I'm apparently going through the workup to be assessed for surgery officially. Yeah.
Well, Andrea, you
Surgery?
should know then before RNS days, I had dreams. I don't know whether to blame it on epilepsy progressing, but
Oh, I think it
before
is
RNS, I had
progressing.
dreams.
I think
But that's the
it
thing. I
might.
don't know if it's just like I don't know how I can get such a deep, to that deep sleep if they say that I'm, that this thing is zapping me like so much at night. And that's one of the ways that I recognize focals at night was, the next morning not being able to remember. So then checking, browsing history or whatever I can put a timestamp on and see how far, how much of my memory was gone, because
Mhm.
that was definitely seizures. And if there wasn't a headache, I still got a headache after focals. So the next morning you could, that's the other thing that narrowed it down. And the dreams, but the dreams was the biggest thing. After it, on a night when I had an absent seizure at night, I would definitely not remember any dreams. I would wake up and be wondering, why am I here? Like, don't even remember falling asleep. So that's the best way of narrowing down if you've had a seizure at night. I mean, besides having the data, but it's not like we can access that. So I
Yeah,
can't even check my own.
they're official. Like I just got transferred to a hospital doctor, like new team in another hospital 3 hours away, and they're doing this new patient surgery workup. I'm scheduled for an EMU and an MRI.
That's exciting. That's big stuff.
How
And
It's
long
what
is
just
would
the
be an
EMU
even bigger
stay?
accomplishment?
it's the EMU they said will be at least they said 3 to 7. That's all I know, but they're booked clear out in it's not till February, but yeah, I know. But I am on a cancellation list, so hopefully they'll have a cancellation and be able to work an MRI in at the same time.
Is the MRI done at the same facility or is it?
They want their own MRI at their own hospital and their own EMU, yeah, the whole everything.
Can they, well, I don't know. I'm
A
just,
lot of places are really
MRI
exclusive
seems
about that.
easier to book. In my
But when
experience, the
it's surgery,
MRI
when
is
it's
easy to book.
pre-surgery for surgery evaluation, they won't accept it. They won't take it from anybody else.
Yeah,
And
it's because
that's how
it's
FSU did it too.
Yeah.
the pre-surgical because they're pulling some of the other records. I mean, they've got old MRIs and my first EMU and stuff like that. They have a bunch of data, but they want more and stuff that's more recent and
Well,
you know,
and not all MRIs are made equal. The
right. They've only
resolution,
had a regular MRI done and they want to do like the fMRI and some of that kind of stuff at
oh,
one point.
that's
And
I
yeah,
haven't had one of those done.
I don't think they're gonna do that one yet. I think that's after the EMU, but I don't know. They talked about so much shit today, my head is exploding. And then
That's
I
exciting
leave.
though.
Yeah, it is, but I'm terrified and this whole year my head is exploding. My whole life has been completely turned upside down. You have no idea.
Yeah, I had something that I thought might have been a nocturnal seizure, um, but I decided I'm not going to put that one on the list because I woke up with that bad postictal headache and I went to the emergency room. They did all the scans and tests, the MRI, CAT scans, and all that. I didn't bite my tongue. Um, all I had was the postictal headache. I didn't fall. I didn't have any of that. So they were like, I don't think you had a seizure. And I'm like, I know this headache. There's just no other headache like it. They tried to give me something for a bad headache, some extra strength, something. I didn't even go get it. But yeah, no more pills. When I say
Looking back, I honestly think I've had stuff that has happened that we didn't realize was epilepsy and seizure related, like clear back when I was in high school and stuff. And I mean, I'm gonna be 48 in December. Yeah,
mine, mine weren't on camera, so I couldn't see the sleep ones. But hopefully, I wasn't at home, so I couldn't see them because my camera's always been in my room. But
the biggest problem that I'm having is that I'm home by myself all the time, and the one person that has seen everything, died in January.
I'm home alone for the most part, or at least um,
It's
never
just like
know.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know, my memory is awful. I'm trying to write stuff down for you guys. I really am.
Yeah. What I do is I type notes when everyone's speaking and I find I need to say something. Type it out, and when it's my turn, I got it ready to use.
But that's
Sometimes.
so reassuring, Andrea, because even with such a crazy year, you're still making progress in the right direction. You still got all
Well,
the right priorities of taking care of yourself.
I put the brakes on it until basically last month, and then I finally sent it my last neurologist an email. I'm like, okay, I think I want to go ahead and pursue that referral now. And I think they called me within 2 weeks to set up the appointment. And I was just like, okay, wow, this is moving a lot quicker than I expected. So,
Timing is a big deal, but keep in mind it was after, I mean, before I committed to the surgery, it was a whole year before I even got the offer of what to do. Because they
oh
really do.
yeah,
It's just like being diagnosed all over again. They have to eliminate what you can't do
oh yeah, I'm
just to
not
offer you what you can.
expecting anything to happen. Obviously, I'm not even they're not my EMU's not scheduled for 6 months, but you know, they're like she's like, I want to see you back in 2 months, and then I go up to the desk and they're like, or she wanted to see me back in 4 months and her next available 6 months. And they're like, she said she wanted to see me in 4, and she's like, yeah, I know. That's her next available. She knows that. I'll put you on the cancellation list.
That's what they're probably like ready to say to
Pretty
everybody
much.
at the desk. Well, keep that in
So,
mind. If the doctor is not aware of how far booked she is on her own schedule, be ready to ask that doctor every question possible because they might not be, looking to explain all the possibly like frequently asked questions to you. That's the direction I wish I would have went before doing the RNS, is
I've
asking all
learned
questions of like what to expect.
and try to use the portal as much as you can. Uh, the portals are a lot better than I thought because I resisted them for a while because I'm like I really like to talk to people. I feel like I've gotten a lot more done through the portals.
I like in
Yeah, a lot
person
of
for
times they
certain
have the
events.
people.
It can be safer too um recently there's been some issues that like regarding uh medical information phishing kind of I'm pretty sure it's some sort of scammer phishing attempt, but um I have family members who have received um phone calls from some number or something, and they saying, hi, this is so and so from whatever, blah blah blah, and we're calling about something, genetic testing that your doctor's office ordered, and something vague, but something, genetic testing, and uh um they, family members like didn't recall, wasn't expecting it, but was like, okay, well, if they need it, so they asked, can you confirm your date of birth before we continue? And they did, and then the person asked a few more questions to verify his identity, and um, there's kind of fishy sense, red flag kind of thing from that, and um, at uh, at the end, he was saying, I don't have time, I'm gonna call the doctor's office back and finish this or whatever. And they're like, oh, well, can we schedule a time that we can call you back? They didn't want him calling the doctor's office back, the actual number back. They wanted to schedule time for them to call back, resume the call and finish whatever. So that, but they'd already gone through and got all kinds of, I don't know what all was discussed, but at the very least, some of the cursory um, identifying information that doctors' offices actually use to confirm identities when talking about medical information. And um, he called his doctor's office afterwards. They had his actual primary care physician's name, though. That's the thing. They knew his name, they knew his doctor's name already. And then they called him and got all of everything else they need to fill in all the rest of the blanks. But um, scamming is getting scarily advanced these days now, and data brokers are putting together a lot more disparate data points and information about people. They're connecting information that nobody ever would have been able to put
This
together
is a scam.
before. And now there's, on top of that, there's even if they're recording that conversation, they have samples of the voice, they have samples of the vocal cadence and some of the sort of mannerisms. That sort of stuff these days is also pretty easy to simulate and fake with the modern neural network um, machine learning algorithms. So it's entirely possible, plausible, dare I say probable, now that somebody can go out and impersonate this family member and get access to whatever medical records they want. And how can we stop them? So
I mean, if it gets the social,
word of
that's the only
warning.
thing I can think.
uh I'm sorry, what?
But sometimes they only need like the last four of your social to get medical records and things like that. But that's at least one of the things that we pretty much all family members know. Don't give any digits of your social security number, even if they're just trying to verify your identity. Date of birth is
Yes.
like as far as it should go.
They're
Yes,
scamming
if
old people.
somebody's calling from your doctor's office, call,
They're they
say you're busy and call your doctor's office back. Don't
I had to
continue.
give my full social at the doctor's office today. She had
But
to get my insurance pulled up.
Yeah, at least
yeah,
you're
That's
face to
not
face
over the
in that
phone.
situation.
Yeah,
yeah,
face to face is much better.
yeah.
I'm
That's
advocating
really the only way I would trust
for
giving away my full social like that for if it wasn't something I was expecting. It's coming
Yeah,
out of the blue. Yeah.
yeah, I know.
Pookie, what were you saying?
I was saying that I signed up for one thing, and ever since they had my number, I knew exactly what that was. There was like some ad that said if you had a car accident within the last year, sign up and you can get this, this, and this. And the day after that, I've had 20 to 30 calls a day just about nonsense sometimes. Sometimes it's we can sign you up for some kind of health insurance thing. And then a lot of them, they're calling and they tell me, "Oh, how old are you?" And then I'd be like, I'm 20 something. And they'd be like, "Oh, well, you don't apply for it. You got to be 65." And it does it all day. So I just started skipping it. Numbers that I don't know, I stop answering because a lot of them will be the same area code as me. But then some of them will pop up as actual businesses. And then when you call back, it's a business, and they say we didn't call you. So yeah, that's where that threw me off. But they're getting out of control with it. And like I said, they're aiming for older people because the times where they ask me my age and I'd be like, I'm 100. And then they like, oh, well, you can't apply for this, this, and this.
You qualify for.
I just play with those things sometimes. They ask you how old you are, give them all kind of weird names and stuff. I've taken it up to like 15 minutes just talking to them, just giving them all weird kind of information that just came right off the top of my head as soon as he asked.
Hey, if you got the time and you're bored, man.
Birthdays and all kinds of stuff. I've told them I'm
Even
born
better
on
when it's a
Christmas.
robot.
Yeah. Waste my time and waste your time.
There's no guilt if it's a robot.
Well, no, it's usually after a while they let me talk to a person. But like I said, I had to tell them I was 100 years old for them to want to talk because every other time they're like, oh, you're under 65, you don't apply, you're not a senior citizen and stuff like that. So I said they're targeting older people, not old people.
Yeah, specifically older people and vulnerable populations. So disabled people are also starting to fall under that as well.
Yeah, that's one thing they call for. They call and
Medicare.
ask you, do you want to get some health insurance if you have Medicare Part A? We know something where you can get Medicare Part B and A at the same time. Press 2 to talk to someone. Yeah, and then they want you to give all kinds of weird information. And I gave them all of the wrong information, and they brought up, they thought I was really a person. And I was like, you guys are scammers. I was like, that name, that birthday was on Christmas. Everything was wrong. And it was like, oh,
some
okay.
people have to be born on Christmas, right? There's got to be at least a 1 in 365 chance that any random person you meet's born on Christmas, right?
Yeah, and I told them I was 100.
Roughly.
So,
Yeah, but it's a red flag too when they say their name is Bill and they have a way out their accent and a lot of those red flags too.
what's bad is you'll hear a bunch of other telemarketers in the background is what it sounds like. A bunch
Exactly.
of other people on phones too. So that's probably what they're doing. They got one phone, you hang up, they pick up another. That's what it feels like. And yeah, sometimes I don't have the time, but sometimes I do answer it and let them just sit there and go, hello, hello.
Yeah, luckily my phone number is from a different state. So if I ever get a call from that state, I just don't answer it. Because I have everything else in my contacts. So
That
at least I
makes
get
sense.
that
I
about
mean,
one.
that's a pretty
That's a good idea
sweet
to change the area
filter.
code. Change,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Just move to a different state from your phone number and don't ever answer any
Don't
calls
change it.
from anybody.
Yeah, I'm not gonna change it.
I just don't answer the phone if it's not in my address book or I'm not expecting a phone call. You can leave me a message. If I
Mhm,
There
want
you
to
go.
call you back, I'll call you back.
mhm.
If not, I'll
Exactly.
delete your voicemail.
Jason, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
What about you on this one? You ever get these wannabe scam call trying to fish information out of you?
Yes, like plenty of times. Like I literally just ignore and not even answer the phone.
I try to report
Wow.
them, and that doesn't do anything because they just changed the number. And yeah, and then I just got an email from AAA membership email verification info needed. This expires in 5 minutes. Like stuff I'm not, I don't even have a car to have AAA.
I
Right?
I
keep
didn't even
getting some
expect
of
the
that
the
stuff
text
too.
messages. The
Yeah,
text messages will say
they'll
stuff like
still
that.
try to sell you a AAA membership because then your subscription will cover anybody whose car you happen to be riding in. All you have to do is pay our membership fee, just like as if you owned a vehicle. You can
It's
still
like,
get towed like free if you're ever stranded somewhere in somebody else's car on their behalf.
So today, I've gotten about 42 calls. One is my dad, one is my sister, and then the rest are scam calls. And one says Alley Electric and Solar. That one I answered. And then another one said Earl Ford, janitorial specialist. And I answered. So they're calling with business numbers from companies. And
are you on the no call list?
Earlier today too, one that was like a business. It had a business
Not with
name on it.
40 something calls. That you got to
No,
get on
not
one of those no call lists.
but they're disguising them as businesses
yeah,
Yeah.
on the caller IDs now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're spoofing it.
I block some of them, and you got to report them every now and then. And then there's some that call sometimes, and it won't ring. It'll just say spam call, and it'll tell me you got.
Potential spam is what comes
Before
up.
I woke up this morning, I woke up around 10, and I had 17 calls before 10 that it just blocked on its own. They're
One
getting
thing
out of control. All I wanted was to talk about a car accident. And
that
now I'm just talking about insurance and all kinds of stuff.
AJ, is it like this over there, or is this a like exclusively USA thing?
You get scam calls, AJ?
Sometimes.
What do they
I
want?
don't think you're on a list though. Okay.
What are they asking from you?
Donating for children with disabilities or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Those are always worse on election years. One here, I'm sure everybody can contribute. Had a seizure in a porta potty today. Please make me feel better. Definitely a shitty situation. Was not fun coming to with my pants around my ankles, especially with the fact that I fell through the door while seizing. My body hurts, but not as much as my pride. Have you guys had anything embarrassing happen during your seizures? Nothing that compares to that. But
Nothing that
after the
shitty.
fact, there you go. After the fact, it would have been the one with where the police got there before the EMTs. That was embarrassing because there was just no chance of them believing that if this was a seizure and I wasn't overdosing.
Yeah, I think I
Right.
actually responded on that one.
I think the worst one I had was the first one, and I just came around and my partner was saying, "Let me help you get your clothes on. The paramedics will be here in a minute." And I just didn't want to be naked when the paramedics got there.
You
That
know, at
was
least
all.
he knew what to. At least that one knew what to tell you, because
Right.
that was on like the
He
first
made
round
sure
of
I
Pepper
was
days
safe
when I would just say
first.
no to everything.
He made sure I was safe first. Once
There
he
you
knew I
go.
was safe, then it was okay, baby, let's put your clothes on.
You know, see, that's somebody who cares. That's
Right.
brilliant. What about
I
you, Jeff? Any embarrassing ones?
I wasn't born with that gene. I don't get embarrassed. I am who I am, and if I do something that's fucked up, that's just how it is. Um, but I've never had that experience. I've never had a seizure in public.
Oh, okay.
They've all been at home. But still, I kind of don't understand that. Uh, I
Saying
just
your pride
don't
suffers.
understand the logic. I think that this is who you are, and there's nothing wrong with it, and there's no reason for me to be to feel embarrassed. I could understand, like the first seizure I had, I was naked when I opened the door for the landlady, and obviously when the paramedics came, I was naked. What's the what? They've seen naked bodies before.
Were you bullied in school?
No,
Yeah.
Were
No
you?
need for embarrassment.
I likely was, but it wasn't. It was kind of, they were a lot of trash talk. So then, I don't know. They would try to bully me, and then what I would do is I would trip them. You know, like when you walk in, like kick up under your feet, then take off running.
Yeah.
So I guess I got my get back. I don't know. Yeah, they were bullies to a lot of other people, and I was the only one doing that, getting my get back. And I would take off running.
I
This
don't
was
remember a lot of bullies.
between first grade and high school. Yeah.
So Josh, I do see some of your comments on here, but I'd rather not be the one to read them. So
So I can't
where's the
remember.
situation where you can agree on this one?
Yeah, so I can't remember exactly what I said on that one, but I've done it a few times in her situation. There was one when I went to the hospital after having a tonic-clonic. My ex and my brother had driven me there. Apparently, this hospital was not the greatest hospital in the world, and they thought I was overdosing, and so I was going back and forth in my post-ictal state, throwing up in the bathroom. And I was telling my brother I had to take a crap, and they wouldn't do anything. And then finally my brother was just yelled at me, and he's like, just shit your effing pants. So he did, and then they took me in.
That'll do it. Do
Yeah.
what you gotta do.
That was one of the better ones.
Angel, you stay there with us?
Yes.
All right. And the one here is all about having a seizure, most likely in public, but overall embarrassing situation. Ever happened to you?
Multiple times.
Okay, so how'd you adapt to that?
I just go with the flow. I mean, I know what I can do, and sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's not. When I end up injuring people, I end up breaking the arm of my neurologist while being naked.
Wait, so you broke the doctor's arm?
Yes, I was having a checkup at the cardio, and while doing the EKG on my heart, I end up having a severe seizure, and at the time it happened to be my neurologist in the clinic, and he was called to help me, and I end up breaking his arm because I was near at a wall and on a bed, and he put his arm next to the wall, so I don't end up hitting my head, but I end up breaking his arm and some ligaments in it.
Hey, it happens, and they were prepared. I mean, if anything, I guess it's better that it happened in a medical facility, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like. I usually prefer to have them all by myself and nobody to be around.
Understandable. But your safety is what is priority. So
Mm,
somebody else
I
commented
believe.
on this one. I had a seizure at a. Go ahead.
I mean, for somebody else, yes, my safety is the priority, but for me, the priority is keeping others safe from seeing my seizure.
And just from seeing your seizure, though, I mean, those who genuinely care about your well-being would rather be there in the presence, so you're safe.
They usually end up being so fucking scared they have no idea what to do. They just splash me with the water or kicking me or smacking my face. So no.
That
Or end up crying.
that's rough.
I mean,
That's
it
rough.
happened. sure it's happened to all of us. And just something we gotta
Yeah,
get
but
through.
you definitely have that skill of being able to find something to, maybe not laugh about right away, but just accept the facts of what it is. At least you did make it through that one. And if anything, those who witnessed, they can't feel like that was really the right thing to do and how to handle it. So if anything, every time you have an incident in front of them, that's teaching them something. They really do have to learn from that, whether they want to or not. That that
They
that
end up
is a
being
lesson, and
jackass.
they just don't always act right. What'd you say?
They always end up being jackass with me. So no, thank you. I was kicked
Yeah, that's
out of
understandable.
school because having a seizure. So yeah, and I was
That
in
shouldn't
med
be
school.
allowed.
Med school, you said?
Yes, it
Wow.
was during my period of pause from architecture school, so I ended up going in the med school. It was fun.
Wow.
And they kick
Many talents. That's pretty cool.
What?
You're you have many talents. I'm impressed. That's pretty cool. To architecture and to med school and your art. You're a
Oh,
cool person.
for saying about art, yeah, I still have my notebook here. Oh, I forgot where it is. I did it.
Yes.
Oh, cool. I love
Oh,
it.
Oh, we gotta get a shot.
and here is James. Oh, wait,
Nice.
wait. I believe you can see here with the
Yeah, that
McLaren
picture.
logo.
instead of
Oh,
what it
That's
says.
brilliant.
Oh,
yeah.
it's a
Oh,
McLaren, but I believe it's a mirror. I don't know.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
Okay.
backwards, so we'll see it better when you take a
Yeah.
picture.
Yeah.
That's really, really
Wow.
amazing.
That is really cool.
The shading and the color is
Yeah.
spotless.
Do you have the one of me still?
No,
It
I
was the
I
best.
had to read the page in my notebook because I spilled some blood on it. Sorry.
It's all right. He called my hair majestic.
I called you beard majestic.
Oh, okay. I
Ooh.
thought you meant the hair as a whole. The beard, no, thank you. Never got
I
that.
don't understand how this type of hair works. So
Mm-hmm. I don't understand either. It's there. It just grows like that.
And do you play tennis?
Do I play
yes.
tennis?
Yeah. You're
How
a big.
did you know?
I can see the racket in the background.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I used to play many sports, but not anymore.
What kind of racket is that?
Um, I might look.
Looks like a radical.
It's from the brand Head, and it's a MX Sonic Pro.
Oh, nice. Cool. I actually used to work at a tennis academy. Why'd you stop playing tennis?
Didn't have many time, or I was also a professional swimmer, so I ended up being a professional swimmer, and after that I ended up being really passionate about architecture and biology. So
And nobody can take all those skills from you. That is incredible. You are incredible.
You are extremely talented.
and after that I ended up being obsessed with downhill sport and rally cars. So
Wow,
how
that's freaking cool, dude.
That's multi-talented.
Yeah. Wow, that is
I don't
great.
know if it's multi-talented or just hobbies.
It's
Or maybe my
multi-talented.
Good hobbies.
yeah, hobbies. I mean,
Yeah.
what
And
else?
to be humble on top of it.
Where are you?
Say it.
Where?
You want to say
We
something?
didn't hear you.
I said, where are you from, AJ?
Romania.
Romania. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know.
Like
You kind of sounded like you were from Spain. I know a lot of people from Spain. You kind of had the accent.
Spain. Not really.
Quite.
Maybe I can understand Spanish and French.
No, like when not like speaking Spanish, but like when they speak English, the accent.
Yeah, I know.
So some of these other embarrassing ones, somebody says my partner had one in our grocery store as he rounded the corner to go get an item, wiped out an entire canned goods display. The store employees were helpful, made sure he was okay, took our groceries and rang them up so I could help him. You know, we had one in public once, but I mean in the grocery store one time, and I think we ended up leaving without paying for something. And family told me that somebody ended up chasing them down for
Hmm?
I
something
have a
that, you know,
funny
either one of the
story
kids
from
or somebody
store.
grabbed on the way out. Yeah, they're strict. What'd you say, AJ?
I said I have a funny memory with uh, having a seizure in a store.
How's that go?
A few years back when I was university, I ended up having a seizure and the whole store was forced to be closed and they end up calling the police and the ambulances because people were gathering around me, taking pictures of me and recordings, and the police was involved. They end up
Wow.
making a way for me like I was some kind of president or something. No, I was just sitting, doing my stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, and after that, I end up being admitted in the hospital. And I believe in that period of time, I refused to stay. I usually run away from hospital.
Yeah, that's understandable.
I've done it.
I,
I've ran from the hospital. I took the IV out and ran and made it home. But before I got home, um, the police had already been there. So once I got home, my family was like, "Where were you? The police have been here. They're worried about you and stuff." Like it
yeah,
was that bad. It was like
did the same thing.
like an hour and a half walk. But yeah, they weren't. I don't know why I left. They weren't paying that much attention. Um,
Did
Take
you
the
run away
IV
with
out.
your pajamas on you?
Huh?
Did you run away with your pajamas on you? Or
No, I had clothes on and they were wet. Um,
I end up running away in my pajamas with my plushies, and it was January. It was pretty cold.
Oh,
did you
that
take the
And
IV out?
also I was full sedated because I had a status and I like, yeah, I'm not staying here. I don't want to stay here.
how did you know where you were going? You don't have a
Did you
sense
take
of
the
I know
IV
I was
out?
direction?
going to my home, but I didn't know if I was able to get there or not. But I was like, fuck that. I don't give a shit. I went. They say I ran away, but the truth is, I never ran away. I walked away slowly. So,
Did you have to take the IV out?
no, I kept it because I was like, maybe I need it the next day for my other intervention or maybe some blood test. So why poke me 2 times when you just have the access already?
Nice.
And sometimes they forget to take my IV out from my arm, so I end up usually my arm full or IV.
Yeah, I took mine out and I put it on my arm. I put the gauze like they doctors usually do, and it was not as easy as they made it look. My
If you want
gauze
to,
my gauze turned all the way red within the hour and a half I was walking home. When I got home, the gauze was red and it was soaked. And when I lifted the gauze, it had more blood than what the whole of my arm did. And I was like, it seems
if
so
you,
easy when they do it. They just take it out and
yeah,
put the
because
gauze and
it's
that
so
easy.
easy because you don't put a pressure on the arm around. So if you want to take it out without having a bruise, this is my personal solution. I take it out inside of water, like running water from the sink. And it's never getting bruised or something. And after that, I put some alcohol in it and ready to go. But I wait until the bleeding it stops from itself. I may lose some blood, but it's not like I'm losing more blood from an injury or just small one.
That's a great solution.
I'm not saying it's sanitary. I mean,
Oh, you got the alcohol.
yeah, for drinking.
Oh, you're not talking rubbing alcohol.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm not drinking.
Okay. So one of the other comments on this embarrassing post is I'm a bartender, had a TC during brunch a few months ago, right behind the bar. When I was post-ictal, some customers who were medical professionals standing around me. Apparently, I tried to stand up, saying, "Go have a seat, I'll bring you some water." They all had to talk me down, and I ended up fighting the paramedics, which I somehow always do. Honestly, I don't feel embarrassed. People are just concerned and want to help. You've got nothing to be ashamed of, and you're definitely not the only one this has happened to. That's a good one.
The good old paramedic fight.
Pretty much.
Eh,
All right. Another person just asking, how often do you see the doctor? So they are talking about the doctor versus a PA. I officially diagnosed with TLE by my neurologist earlier this year after 16 years of misdiagnosis. Happy to finally have answers, but medications have not been helpful. Been to neurology office 4 times, have only seen the doctor once. The last 3 appointments were scheduled with him, but keep getting moved to his PA or canceled last minute. Spoke with the PA at the last appointment. He told me he would make sure I see the doctor next. On Friday, got an email saying my appointment's been moved to the PA. And this person just finishes it by saying, is it normal to keep seeing the physician's assistant while seizures are uncontrolled? This is another prime example of be your own advocate because the doctor's office will keep doing this to you over and over, as you've already seen. This person's done it 4 or 3 times. They moved the appointment, probably only saw the neurologist the first time. And a lot of times that's because that's the only way they can get away with billing it. So again, patient advocate, don't accept it. You have to call them back and say you need to see the doctor. Patient portal might come in handy for this one. So if you get it on record saying not only that you need to see the doctor next time, but you're wondering, why this has already been done to you 3 times. So yeah, find a way to get the message to the doctor and get it on record with that office so somebody can be held accountable. What do you guys think? Ever get transferred to PA when you didn't want to?
I have only ever seen the nurse practitioners. I've never seen the um, primary epileptologist at my um, practice, but I don't have any less confidence in the treatment that I've been getting in that setting. The the clinic is a level 4 epilepsy clinic. So all of the staff and everything, all of the tools that they have available has all been kind of assessed, vetted by, was it the Epilepsy Foundation that gives those assessments or levels or ratings or something, or I don't know. There's some organization that does these assessments and kind of based on
I think
their
they call it
ability to.
NAEC, National Association of Epilepsy Centers.
Okay, yeah, that sounds familiar. Uh, yeah, so I don't know. I haven't seen the doctor, but none of the nurse practitioners, um, or all of the nurse practitioners at um, that clinic have all not only gone through all of their the training and everything to become a nurse practitioner. They've all done specific fellowships in neurology, in epileptology specifically. They have additional clinical experience. My particular first nurse practitioner, had additional experience with psychiatric care in an epilepsy monitoring, a long-term epilepsy monitoring setting. So I don't necessarily feel that the degree, the medical degree, necessarily confers any sort of greater ability to uh, deduce or treat anything when the nurse practitioners have such extra experience. I think personally, it's highly likely that the PA at my neurologist office or at my epileptologist office, by virtue of all of this additional training and her experience, has more expertise in treating epilepsy than many neurologists do, who don't have that specialty in epilepsy, because it is such a niche, specific subset of neurology that a lot of neurologists are not really equipped um, to tackle head on, at least not on their own. And I know that's something that we've covered here on the podcast before, that if you can get in with an epileptologist, do it. I would say that, take that one step further. I would rather see an epileptologist's PA than go to a neurologist without any sort of epilepsy specialty. So,
I second that.
yeah.
That's a great perspective. Andrew, what's your experience with this?
I've had great experiences with PAs in general. I mean, being that I'm in a smaller town in the Midwest, I've pretty much seen either the doctor, I was seeing the neurologist, or then I was referred to an epileptologist. There was a couple of times I saw the PA, at the epileptologist office, but most of the time I saw the epileptologist himself. And now they have literally, I had my first appointment today. I'm starting with a whole new team. So we'll see how that goes. Bigger city, bigger hospital.
Hope everything goes well for you. I really do.
Hey, thank you. Me too.
Yeah.
I do have something here, you guys. It says, "Why do I feel this way? I don't know what I'm doing in life right now, but all I can think about is that my depression keeps coming at me. And even though I don't want to die, I have no suicidal thoughts anymore. I still feel like I can't escape it. It just feels like I'm treading water and not drowning and not going under, but I also can't climb out of the water. I could just use some help, maybe some guidance or ideas. Thank you for reading."
So it sounds like they're dancing around the language of, you know, self-harm very carefully, but they might be kind of at that borderline, perhaps. They just don't want to, because if you're getting to the point where you have to preface something with, I'm not suicidal, but there's probably a bit more going on, and I don't know. It's a tough position to be in.
I mean, I understand where the guys come from. I think I actually commented on this one.
No, there's only one comment.
Uh, um, but I understand what that feeling's like. I mean, especially when you're just dealing with this too and you don't know where you're going. I don't know what kind of support he has or anything like that, but it's rough. Sometimes you just want to run out and to nothing and just in the distance and disappear. Sometimes you just want to, you feel like you're sinking and nothing else is going to work. Sometimes you just, I mean, we're human. What else can we do? But I mean, sometimes it's hard to fight through those feelings. And, it's hard. And that's why he's here reaching out for support. And that's why we all came here. And I mean, yeah,
Glad you're here.
yeah. So, I mean, that's what he's asking for. He just needs that support and help and wants that hand because he probably doesn't have that hand where he is.
Yeah, I could
Or,
say I hope for the best. I wouldn't say I haven't been in those positions, but it's going to take time. You didn't exactly say how long you've had epilepsy or if it's the epilepsy that made you feel like that. But
Did they give any indication as to what medications they might be on or anything? I'm sorry,
no,
I completely
nothing at
lost.
all about seizures or epilepsy. This is about specifically the depression.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah.
It would be nice to know which pill is making you depressed, because that's a different story.
Yeah, well, a lot of the pills that make you depressed are the ones that keep you from seizing, and the ones that that stop you from being depressed make you have the seizures. Or you're depressed because you can't be productive because you can't get the medications you need to treat the ADHD because that causes the seizures.
what
It's
what a vicious cycle.
Yes, yes, exactly. Um, there's a lot of reasons, a lot of medications to be depressed over. Um, if they don't have anything about epilepsy specifically or any of their medications, I don't really have a lot of insight I can add aside from, suicide prevention hotline, self-harm, not the way to go. Uh,
Therapy.
Even reach out to your local church if that's, just something, anything uh, before hurting yourself in any way.
Yeah, talk to somebody you know privately. I mean, shoot me a message. I'll chat with you.
Yeah, I was thinking it just could be someone who's feeling really lonely as well. You gotta have a support system with this shit, because
Yeah.
yeah, it could be a lot, as we've seen.
Sometimes even when you're with people, you feel lonely and you just want that conversation
Yeah,
with someone
But
you can
that's the
relate
best
to.
part about knowing you guys is that it reminds you that that support system who's not reassuring you in any way isn't really what you need.
yeah. My support system wasn't reassuring me of nothing.
Oh, I know, but you know what I mean? Like, even when you have a support system like that, they don't truly understand what you're going through. You just want that conversation
Yeah, I want
with
this
a
conversation.
like-minded individual. It's like trying to talk to somebody about cars who doesn't know jack nothing about cars.
You a Virgo?
Me? No, I'm a Libra.
Birthday coming up.
Yeah, next week. My wife was actually on the 13th. Hey, babe, you're a Virgo, right? Yeah, she's a Virgo.
Nice. So are we.
Lots of
Nice.
Virgos on here.
Me and
Uh,
Kate.
I'm my mom and my daughter.
Nice. You got two Virgos around.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's fun.
September 30th.
I'm gonna read this comment here before I move forward. It says, "Some guidance I wish I'd known. No one knows. We're all treading water. Live day by day. Don't feel guilty for not being able to do certain things like getting out of bed or going out, because things there's always tomorrow. If you let depression take control, then it's gonna steer you right into the wall. Do what you can to get out of that feeling. If you feel you're treading, realize that you're having dark thoughts and stop them. Redirect yourself. If you start negatively thinking, maybe turn some music on you really like, get a good book, keep it at the back of your mind, and as long as you can, maybe it'll go away, or maybe it won't, but you've had a few hours of freedom from the nagging in the back of your head. It's the only advice, and that would be decent advice. Yeah, you can go to therapy also.
Yeah.
People I know went to therapy for epilepsy.
I found sometimes when I'm frustrating, good food helps. Distract yourself with a good meal if you can eat.
I got something there. It says it's 3,000 a day high Kepra. I know that everything is relative and that meds are specific to needs, but I'm getting these sense from reading that my 3,000 milligrams a day of Keppra is on the higher end of dosages. Does that seem accurate?
I was on that.
What's considered high on Keppra?
3's max, yeah.
I was gonna say I think that's the max they want to prescribe to anybody is 3,000 a day.
I think Kate said she was taking 6.
I don't know.
Oh,
I
I
think
think she did say she was taking 6.
I
She
was
said,
thinking I was doing
But I
1500
thought
in
they
the
were
morning and 15 at night.
Yeah. She said she did that right after they found out she was pregnant. They put her on
I
6,000.
did just said he did 4,000.
Yeah. Angel said he did 4,000. He said that's nothing.
Yeah, I only did 15. That was enough for me.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go through some of these comments. One says I'm on 3,500 a day and it's fine. NHS in the UK thinks it's safe, even though it's in quote off label. Matters more the levels in your blood. Some bodies filter it faster, and blood tests. Mine are still barely in a therapeutic range, and I'm fairly small. Some bodies are just different.
Yeah, that makes sense. If they prescribe it to you, everybody absorbs it differently and metabolizes it differently. So, just because they have given you the maximum daily dosage, um, or maximum recommended prescribed daily dosage doesn't necessarily mean that the maximum therapeutic dosage level is present in, blood serum levels and stuff. That's why sometimes if you're, or at least this happened to me, I was at the maximum maximum daily dosage of Vimpat, and I was still getting breakthrough seizures. There you go. And they they were like not sure why, not so they did a blood test to double check and make sure that that the dosage level present in my body was appropriate for the dosage level that they had prescribed. And if I wasn't absorbing it well, or if I was metabolizing it too quickly, then they would have gone up over that initial recommended threshold. So there's some wiggle room to that, but they have to meet certain criteria before they can go over that. They've got to, get up to that maximum level and have a really good reason to go over it.
I'm on the same amount as the highest the FDA allows. I can beg to differ. Kate, someone said it's 3,000 milligrams a day of 3,000 milligrams a day high Keppra.
That's the second titration. They want to start you around 1500. Once you have like 2 breakthroughs with that, then they tell you take like another 750, or they'll tell you to break it and, level up like that. But yeah, it goes from 15 to 2 to 3, they add another 1,000 milligrams from what I remember. And those can be over the phone appointments.
Did I remember hearing you say that you were on 6,000 a day?
Yes, maximum recommended daily dose is still 3,000 for some reason, but they clear as day take 3 tablets, 3 capsules, it's tablets. Take 3 tablets twice a day, and my 90-day supply is like 6 bottles. So that's what they thought was fit for somebody who just has a lot of seizures with the RNS.
Did they have you do a blood test to check the serum levels of it when you're at such a high dosage level?
I know they had levels, or they had blood tests, but I always got the vibe they were just suspicious that I wasn't taking the meds. So I don't know if they test for those like dangerously too high substances, or if they literally just test for the levetiracetam in the blood. So whatever
Just
they test
med
for,
compliance check?
that's what I got the vibe from the last like 2 doctors, I think. But that is what it is. Now I'm letting the RNS do its job, and I feel better with less Keppra.
I do have something else here.
Oh,
Says, I don't know what it is. I was making an appointment just as Sunday, then Labor Day. Last night, I felt when it's not like my body muscles tense up, teeth tightening, biting together, jaw locking. I felt trapped inside my mind and like I can feel the pain of the muscles, but wasn't in control of my own body. Migraine afterwards, too, and was out of it until a good bit of minutes. I never had seizures, so I figured best page to ask would be here. If anyone has any good advice, what could it be?
so the tensing muscles, is anybody else thinking myoclonic? But did they describe anything more than that?
Muscles
muscle
tensing, teeth tightening, biting together, jaw locking.
Clonic
Maybe that's more
seizure
than,
without the tonic
Okay.
phase
there you go.
and impaired memory or awareness. Or did I mishear that? Were
So you
they,
can have a clonic without the tonic.
yeah,
Yeah, you can stiff, but not convulse.
yeah.
But did
Or
they talk about if
the
they could remember
jerking,
anything or if they passed out? Like flexing or
tightening,
however you
but
call it.
then the releasing again without the complete stiffening to the like plank board type state and jerking what that kind of is what my arm did in the TC and the video that I have, but you know, this was kind of more in the clonic movements in the video
That
that
goes with the jaw locking too.
yeah, the clench and release kind of, yeah, prime tongue biting seizure. Yeah, there's a lot of different seizure types that I don't think are even still acknowledged. I'm convinced that it's possible to have memories of a tonic clonic, and I've heard nothing but vehement denials from any doctor that no, you're unconscious when you're in the middle of a tonic clonic seizure. I'm like, I remember things being said that were not in the video that people have confirmed were actually being said. I don't know. So it's yeah, if it's possible to have memory of a tonic clonic and it's possible to have a clonic without the tonic phase, it certainly seems possible to me to have memories of a clonic without the tonic component of a seizure. But what areas of the brain would be involved in that is something far beyond the scope of my
That would need
wild and
definitely need more analysis.
unprofessional hypothesis. Yeah, I don't. And all of this is probably just layperson gobbledygook, but it's
This
my
is a
gobbledygook.
hypothesis from a well-educated person, a well-educated patient.
It's that's how science works, right? You hypothesize and then try to disprove. Or yeah, hypothesize, try to disprove. That's a good way. So somebody else talk? Anybody who's got something to say?
Go through these comments if no one had anything in particular. I'll start with the comments.
I did have a question. on one thing, but it's probably something that can wait till the end because it's more of a discussion question that I have. I just had
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So I don't understand a whole lot about PNES. And I've done a little bit of research on it, but I don't really still grasp the concept of it.
I got
Psychogenic,
someone.
non-epileptic. Go ahead, Pookie.
I got someone who'll be here in a while, and I'll have her explain that because she can do it real in depth. I love it when she gets in depth. So she'll be
Way
here.
better than receiving any like borderline misinformation from us, because we do have what I consider the resident expert on how to explain things.
Okay, cool.
I will.
So try to remember your question.
Yeah, I will.
Just wants an explanation of what's PNES like, right? We'll get it.
Yeah. So it's psychogenic non-epileptic seizures. My main point, just to baseline, place to start would be the biggest difference is the origin. Now, what causes those symptoms for epileptic and non-epileptic seizures is the reason, the main distinction, the focal point.
Yes.
I do have something here.
And you got the next one? Okay, good.
Yes. It says, I think I'm having seizures in my sleep. For the past few years, I keep having these episodes in my sleep where I'll be dreaming about something mundane. Then my whole body goes numb and paralyzed and heavy and slump over. In my dream, I have no idea whether it's actually reflecting in real life. Sometimes this comes with twitches or a sense of generally uncontrollable movements. I've noticed these episodes usually happen when I'm sleep deprived and stressed. Otherwise, there is relatively infrequent and unpredictable. I've been hoping this was maybe something like sleep paralysis, but it happened to me 3 times in a row last night. And when the last one woke me up, I vaguely registered opening my eyes and watching my whole body relax from being tense in a very unnatural, like arched up position. I don't know. I should probably go talk to a doctor, but I have been gaslit really badly in the past about, end quote, faking things that I have did end up getting diagnosed with. That I'm concerned I will spend a lot of money just to get dismissed. Does anyone else have seizures like this, or does anyone think this sounds like something else? Sleep paralysis. I have to talk to my doctor when I see him, but that was one thing that I thought I was going through. And it's a real weird feeling. I didn't get the numb feeling, but it's just like I'm laying there and I can't move and I can't necessarily feel anything because I'm just laying there. If I'm laying on my back or my stomach, I just can't move. And I'm trying so hard to get words out and I can't. But finally, when I do get it out, it's a scream at the top of my lungs, and it always gets someone's attention. So yeah, that's that. I don't exactly know if it's sleep paralysis. My next appointment, he said we'll talk about it again. So I want to figure that out because that is really rough. And sometimes with those phases, there's like it's really scary just not being able to move and look around. And for some reason, it always feels like something is in my peripheral that I can't see. And that's the scary part about it. You just constantly feel like I can't move and something is going to happen. And it sucks.
Are you able to turn your eyes to?
Yeah, I can look around. I just can't move my body.
Is there, when you say you see something in the peripheral, is there always something in the peripheral no matter where you look, or is it just?
I can move my eyes, but I can't move my head. But for some reason, it always seems like there's something dark in my peripheral, like maybe a person or something, but I can never move my head to see. And it's really scary sometimes.
Do you have do you ever get the focals with the sort of deja vu, doom, panic type of sensation that a lot of others had?
No, nothing I know of. Had
Because
the
I'm wondering if
impending doom feeling one time that I can remember that I finally been able to point out what it was. Um,
is that sort of impending doom feeling have any sort of similarity to the sort of sensation that you're feeling during the sleep paralysis? Could there, is it sort of a similar thing that you kind of, they might be a similar type of seizure, you just are locked in the sleep where your body isn't awake yet?
yeah, it's hard to explain. But like I said, when it's like you can't look so far when you're looking with your eyes. And that's what I mean by it looks like something is really in my peripheral, not being able to see it, and I can't tell if it's moving or not, and that's the scary part. I feel like something might be onto me or something might be gonna get me. But eventually I get a scream out and yeah, eventually it gets someone's attention every time. So it's not something I want to do. But that screaming is crazy. Instantly have to yell out, "I'm sorry," before anyone gets to my room.
Do you
Um,
have enough breath to do that, or do you feel like you're still in that like shallow sleep
nah,
breathing?
once I'm screaming, I'm out of it. There's nothing I can sit down, stand up, walk around. Uh, but I sleep really light. So the other night there was an earthquake, and I jumped up as it happened, and I was in the middle of the bed, and it was hilarious. Because I didn't know it was an earthquake. I felt the shaking, and I was asleep. And once I opened my eyes, it had stopped. I jumped up, like, "What's going on?" My phone chirped, but then it told me, "Earthquake just happened." Yeah, it was under the water, so in the bay. So it was a 4.7. Not sure how bad that is to be at 2 in the morning. Woke me up.
If a 4.7 earthquake ever happened here in Florida, I would be flipping the fuck out.
Bro, you know we would
Yes.
be underwater.
Yeah.
We're already
Oh
below
yeah.
sea level.
Oh,
Actually, I'm far enough inland. We might actually end up with beachfront property here.
Oh, come on, Okeechobee would swallow you.
You think? I don't
Hey,
know.
surprise fault line. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, There's
Yeah,
there's
I,
enough distance between Okeechobee and Orlando. Orlando might get the beaches and Disney and just become even more touristy. And
right.
that's
Turn that into a whole nother land in Disney.
a whole other layer to the mess.
Find some way to collect debris and turn it into an attraction. Yeah, it looks like there was some minor damage from that Bay Area quake.
There was damage.
Shattered display windows. They're calling it minor damage. Yeah,
Oh
that's what San Francisco's talking about.
yeah, we're expecting a big one any day now. They've been saying that for about 10 years. Um, yeah, we had a big one in 1989. Uh, it was called um, I forgot the name of it. Um, Loma Prieta, and it did a lot to the city of San Francisco. And everyone keeps saying we're due for a big one. We're due for a big one, but they're all like fours and high threes, stuff like that lately. I don't know what a 5 and a 6 feels like yet. Actually, I do. I remember one time my room was just like feels like it was a wave, and it was like 3 seconds. And that was the first time my sister had experienced an earthquake. And I wouldn't say she panicked, but she did what she was taught: go stand in between the door thing like that, and or go get in the tub. And I was sitting here laughing, like she is seriously telling those kids go get in the tub and stand between the doors. But I don't think that was the first time actually experiencing one. Otherwise, she might have been driving or something and didn't notice earthquake. But yeah,
There's actually an earthquake here, like off of the Space Coast not too long ago. So as much as I like to joke about it, especially just a minute ago, my sister lives over like in that area. And she said that she felt it as kind of like a rumbling. I think it was of 3 point something, and the Richter scale, each sequential number is an order of magnitude bigger than the previous one. So her 3 point something there was like a tenth of your 4 point whatever over there. So yeah, your wave was at most like a bit of a rumble, but it's just now dawning on me. I wonder if rocket launches register on seismographs and how they compare. I might have to do some research. Yeah.
yeah. I can't find it. Yeah, but we've had
A seismometer designed to detect and record the ground vibrations and associated infrasound generated by a rocket's powerful engines and its passage through the atmosphere is in effect. It is in use. So I'm sure they have one of those over at Kennedy. And that's part of the data that's measured, that's for sure.
You beat me to it.
Well, you were talking.
Yeah, I was. Well, thank you. I appreciate
And the
that.
meter of earthquake, data that's just too scary. Like I can't picture anything that much bigger. Those stupid hurricane models where like they turn the whole state red is bad enough.
What do you got?
Yeah,
Earthquakes, they do
this
it
year
even
has been
worse.
great. I'm a fan. I mean, normally I like at least a tropical storm or something to kind of give a nice full day of just rain, nothing too serious though. But you know,
yeah.
I could settle for a completely tropical event-free year. That's, safety is, I guess a good trade for a
Yeah,
rainy day.
and the other like hundreds of thousands of people that wouldn't be flooded in for even just one day
Right,
of rain.
yeah,
Yeah.
all that, all those, yeah.
Man, I had to deal with a hurricane last year. That sucked. We lost power for 11 days.
Wow. How do you
Yeah.
keep stuff frozen?
Huh? We didn't. We,
Yeah,
no way. We
after like
we didn't
day
even have a
two, day
fridge.
three.
Yeah. It's like 102 degrees outside, with like 98% humidity. And so luckily I have like really, really nice battery packs. So we had those and hooked fans up and stuff like that. But we were pretty much doing little barbecues in the backyard and stuff and just toughing it out. It sucked.
Yeah, Texas probably doesn't have as many like ready to go resources as everybody in
Well,
Florida knows we're gonna need.
Texas is on a separate power grid than the rest of the United States. It's on something called center point energy. And so if Texas power basically in those storms and stuff, they rely on themselves. And so when that hurricane happened, they actually had to call the other states to come in and help with the power.
Yeah, do
And
what you gotta do.
yeah, I think it took like a couple months in some areas.
So back to the comments of the last post. We
Oh, yeah.
steered right a little bit, but it's all right. We'll read one of the comments. It says, how do you know this is happening? Did someone tell you? Or is this just what you feel like alone at night? I have nocturnal seizures, and every one I've had, I've never dreamed or knew what was happening until I wake up the next day with a massive headache, bites on my tongue and cheeks, and aching body. Does that sound anything like, does it sound like a seizure to me? No, it doesn't, not really. And someone says, if you're unsure if it's reflected in real life, maybe try to record your sleep, see what's happening. But there isn't much else besides talking to your doctor. Yeah, we're not doctors, so talk to your doctor.
Yeah. Get a baby monitor.
I just have the average surveillance. I have
Yeah.
surveillance is what I call it.
Yeah. Which one's yours?
I got Wise.
Oh, okay.
It's really good. It's really cheap for a year subscription. And yeah, it notices my every movement, and it's sitting right here just in case I have a seizure. It records it so I can watch it back later, or just so I have a video, not so I can watch it back later. But yeah,
Will you give me a link for that?
I watch my seizure videos time to time.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.